Hi, how many charging stations are there? I'm going to talk about stats that are relevant to the US because that's where I'm based, but this is going to be very comparable to models that are similar in the UK and in China and in other areas where electric vehicles are very prominent. 5 years ago, when Tesla and other electric cars were still very much up and coming, one of the biggest criticisms that they got was you can't drive anywhere. There aren't enough charging stations. 5 years ago, that was a valid concern. But let's look at today. The US currently has about 170,000 gas stations. As of July 2019, the US currently has 20,000 electricity stations. Now, yes, there are a lot more gas stations than electric stations, but there are also a lot more gas cars and electric cars being driven around right now. The current percent of vehicles being driven in the US that are electric is sitting right around 7 to 8%. And there are a lot more than 7 to 8% stations in the US that are electric. This has been done on purpose because there's been a lot of anticipation that over the next few years, a lot of people will be buying their first electric cars, and that 7 to 8% is going to increase. So there are a lot of companies that have done a lot of work to increase that infrastructure now. Put a lot more electric stations out there so that when you do buy your first electric car, you can go places. Tesla also announced last year that their supercharging network, which is currently the highest speed charging network in the world, covers 99% of the US. So yes, that means you can drive your car almost anywhere in the US. There are lots of videos you can look up of people actually doing it, driving from one coast to the other, driving all the way around the US. It's a pretty cool experience to drive from one coast to the other in an electric car, especially one that has autopilot. If you're on the fence about buying an electric car and your biggest concern is where to charge it, you don't need to have that concern. There are more charging stations being put in all the time. But even today's infrastructure is incredible compared to what 5 years ago was, and it's always growing. If the info in this video was helpful, please consider dropping a like. It helps boost this video in the YouTube algorithm and helps my channel. And drop a comment below if you have a question you'd like answered. Stay safe.